Happy Devils Wednesday. This is the Woo Report. The Woo Report. The Morning Woo Edition, episode 334. Isn't that the club? 334 Club? Streaming live on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Twitter Live, and Twitch on the Let's Go Devils Network. Coming to you live from the bunker in an undisclosed location in beautiful New Jersey, the Primetime Radio Studios. Now expanding, doing some off-season work to the setup. May have a different background by September. Just some random news. As of late, in the last 24 hours, Tom Fitzgerald will have a Zoom call today with the media. Kind of an exit press conference. The state of the New Jersey Devils. By the way, State of the Fan address tonight, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. PucksandPitchforks.com's and new dad, Nick Villano, will be joining me tonight, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. So Fitzy, he has a lot to go over this season. Record-breaking season in the regular season. Individual effort. Team efforts. Breaking records. And should be a good call. Because there's lots to be proud of. Big questions about the goaltending. Maybe some questions about Hellebuck. And there's going to be some debate there about if the Devils should trade for Hellebuck. And, you know, my opinion on that, and I'll stick with it. I'm liking Akira Schmid. I think he deserves a chance. I'm not saying that the Devils shouldn't trade for a Hellebuck, but at what price? And at the same time, with Hellebuck, all three Vezina Trophy candidates all got bounced in the first round. I've said this over and over again that you do not need an elite goaltender to win the Stanley Cup. Last season, the Colorado Avalanche rode on Darcy Kempfer for most of the playoffs, and he was able to deliver. You still need a good defense in front of you. Defense wins championships. It's the old cliche, and it still holds true in today's NHL. You can have a great goaltender back there. I mean, Akira Schmid was excellent in that Game 5 against the Carolina Hurricanes. But if you make mistakes like Jonas Siegenthaler, not trying to, harp on Jonas, you're going to pay the price. It doesn't matter which goaltender is back there. Yes, an elite goaltender can steal you a game or two, but at what price? And that's something you have to think about. Dennis says, it's a great day to be an NJD fan. Supernova, good morning to you. Max says, Coyotes, yikes. The people of Arizona have spoken. The majority don't like hockey. Kind of sad because a lot of former NHLers retire in Arizona. And with Austin Matthews being from Arizona, wanting to stay in Toronto, at least that's what he's saying. It would have been awesome if Austin Matthews actually signed with the Arizona Coyotes, because I want to see hockey succeed in all parts of the United States. This doesn't sit well with me, the Coyotes, the situation there. But I think it all boils down to money. How much money will it cost to support a team that has lackluster gate receipts? And the referendum and the people of Arizona, I think they're just fatigued and tired of this. Going back from Glendale to the city, just back and forth, whatever that mess is, I don't claim to really know. Now they're playing at Mullet Arena. Now is the time to see your last games in Arizona at Mullet Arena, because it just does not look good. And the NHL must be kind of pissed off right now. They thought they had it. They didn't. It's time to reevaluate Arizona, Phoenix, Glendale, wherever that area is they want to build. Max says, I don't think we trade for Hellebuck until trade deadline. If we do it, can't rush Schmid's development. Send him back to the 1B spot. We may never see the best of Akira. I agree. I mean, there's no desperation here for the Devils to make a big trade for Hellebuck. But with Hellebuck, obviously, it's like the Miroslav Satan syndrome where, you know, the player's name really fits in well with the New Jersey Devils. Satan, Hellebuck, Hell, it all goes hand in hand. It's just kind of like Paul Ranger going on the New York Rangers, but never did. And that's not how you should look at it. But, hey, it's kind of fun during the offseason to talk about some of the marketing aspects of it. If Connor Hellebuck came to the New Jersey Devils. But I think the Devils need somebody like Cal Clutterbuck. Still some beef. I thought the Devils' bottom six outperformed, for the most part, the Devils' top six in the playoffs. And that's something to be said. But I think right now, the New Jersey Devils, they're looking good. They don't need to really make blockbuster moves, considering that this team is already in record territory. Yeah, you can make tweaks, but the trade for Connor Hellebuck, it's got to be at the right price. Realize the Devils' defense in the future, Luke Hughes and Simon Nemitz, is waiting. And do you go for it now? Do you go for a Hellebuck over the development of Akira Schmid? Just think, years ago, Devils 94 team, record-breaking season for the most part. Scott Stevens as a defenseman. Devils finishing behind the New York Rangers in 94. Losing to the New York Rangers in the playoffs. And you had a rookie goaltender named Martin Brodeur. And what if Lou Lamoriello said, I want a veteran goalie, elite goaltender at that time, and bring in Patrick Roy from Montreal, which he eventually bolted after leaving the bench. And again, I'm making up a scenario. But would you have done that to upgrade that 94 Devils team to the next year with a Patrick Roy or another goaltender, an elite goaltender, maybe Mike Vernon at the time, or Felix Potvin, or someone of that stature? Now, do I think Akira Schmid's the next Martin Brodeur? No, I didn't say that. But it's the same situation. You have a rookie goaltender. You have a rookie goaltender like Brodeur in that 94 series and in this series, or in this year, and you're seeing glimpses of potential with Schmid. And I don't think Schmid is a one-year wonder. I think he's a pretty decent goaltender, and he needs a hard look. The Hellebuck, again, that's debatable. We shall see if Fitzy's Zoom call today, if he mentions anything about the goaltending situation. Games 1 and 2, could you really fault Akira Schmid? Game 3, could you fault Vitek Vanacek on some of those shorthanded chances? You still need to play defense, whether you have a elite goaltender or not. One would say, could make the argument that elite goaltender could have made those couple saves. But it's not guaranteed, is it? Not at all. Supernova makes a great point. Waugh wasn't playing great at that time. He had a resurgence later in the career. Waugh winning the 93 Stanley Cup. Last time any kind of Canadian team had won the Cup, it's been nearly 30 years. And with the Edmonton Oilers out and the Toronto Maple Leafs out, you're left with the Golden Knights, the Stars, the Carolina Hurricanes, and the Florida Panthers. But I think Akira Schmid deserves to have a look at. You can always evaluate Schmid in the first half of the season. I agree. I think it was either Supernova or Max, I forgot who said it, that you could make a trade by trade deadline after evaluating your goalie situation. Selecta Boy says, "What's up, Devils folks? What's up, Selecta Boy?" But I think Schmidt's the guy. You never know with Dawes and Brennan in the system. Max makes a great point. 3 things he wants to hear before we talk about goaltending. Sign Meyer, sign Bratt, sign Holla. I'll tell you, if Bratt does not sign at a certain point, well, there's a deadline to this, I don't think the fans nor the New Jersey Devils organization should be dragged into a contract dispute. It shouldn't be dragged into arbitration. It should get done now. And if not, your leverage, the New Jersey Devils, trade them. I hate to do that, but how much money are we talking? How far off are the Devils and Bratt? I think Meyer is going to sign. Bratt hiding behind his agent. Oh, get it done. Doesn't involve me. Holla, I think he'll sign anything because he really wants to be here. We talked about this on the Woo Report yesterday about the bromance between Jack Hughes and Eric Holla. Holla, again, the endorsement of Jack Hughes many occasions this season. And we shall see. Meyer proved his worth because he is a power forward. He proved that during the playoffs. Brian in the Facebook Live says if Bratt's not signed by the draft, trade his rights. It's not a bad idea, but to whom? You're missing that first rounder in 2023. I don't know if you can get a first rounder for Bratt. But Bratt didn't get it done in the playoffs. And I think that's the bottom line. If you're going to pay a player $7, $8 million of what we're seeing in the press, what number they're looking at, you got to show up in the playoffs. Timo Meyer, at least for the most part, the little things, he showed up for the playoffs. And then once he got his scoring going, he did much better, more confident. Unfortunately, he couldn't tap it in Game 5, but I'm not going to harp on him. That was a sick play. You had to be on your toes. It's just one of those things. And what I'm referring to is Game 5 with the open net, which could have really put the Devils up 3-1 against the Carolina Hurricanes. But the fact of the matter is the Devils didn't score. And you need a finish. Supernova says, I'm beginning to sour the indifference that is Jesper Bratt. But we shall see. The Zoom call today, Tom Fitzgerald. What is he going to talk about? I'll be listening. I have my AirPods today. I'll be listening. And we'll talk about more on the State of the Fan address tonight, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Nick Villano and I will talk about what's on pucksandpitchforks.com. Nick Villano has just been on a tweeting rampage in a good way on the pucksandpitchforks.com's Twitter account at pitchforkpuck. Supernova says we need a breaking news edition. Yeah, right now I'm this is what we do during the off season. There is no off season here with the Let's Go Devils podcast, but I'm also taking inventory of equipment that was taken, equipment that was broken, equipment that was not working, equipment that we don't need anymore. So right now all my equipment's all over the place. So if I can, I will quickly, before things start to really heat up the hot stove, outfit my personal vehicle as a studio for those breaking news. Live. But again, when news breaks, I could be somewhere and not even know, but we'll get to that. I promise you we'll make every effort of that because you know what? The live aspect of this podcast is awesome because we get so many ideas, so many comments. We engage with you, the New Jersey Devils fans. It's as if there was no off season, so it's good. But I'm interested in this Fitzy press conference, what he has to say. They're gonna be patting themselves on the back, and deservedly so. But I'm kind of wanting to know about the future because, honestly, you want to build not only a salary cap culture within the organization, but also you want to build a winning culture. The Devils don't rebuild now. They reload. And how are they going to reload? And at what price? 3 Devils front office folks, including Kate Madigan, went on interviews with the Pittsburgh Penguins. I think Dan McKinnon as well, assistant GM. And I forgot who was the third one, but Kate Madigan was one of them on the list, deservedly so. All 3 Pittsburgh interviewing for the GM job, the vacant GM job. And I'm probably wondering, what was the first question that they may have asked? All 3. How did you fleece us with Ty Smith for John Marino, essentially? That would be my first question. How did you fleece us? How did that happen? What was Burke thinking? I don't know. But congrats, all 3 getting interviews. That's like a dream job and a half. I wish I worked harder in life. I would love to be a NHL GM. But I probably get fired within 2 months. I wouldn't last that long. Because probably the fans would probably hate me. Because I'm not afraid, even in my personal life, I'm not afraid to make difficult decisions. Unpopular decisions, only if they're the right ones. Yeah, also, Supernova, that's right, Lou is being extended with the New York Islanders. The 80-year-old Lou Lamoriello, still going strong. He is fit as you can be. He works hard on the details of winning. Also, Joshua Harris, we should have this another off-season talk. I want to do some research on Joshua Harris's winning bid for the Washington Commanders of the NFL. I have some thoughts about it because there are some rumors out there that ownership group may have overextended themselves. I think there was an article in the ESPN.com, and the fact that they may not have enough cash reserves if there was a downturn in the economy. And that's something interesting to talk about with the Harris Blitzer Sports Entertainment owning so many teams, this is the first ownership group that required a prospectus, meaning finding other investors. That was kind of released out to the public. So you see what they're banking on, why they can turn things around. And basically, essentially, they talked about a change of leadership would do wonders with attendance, which I think there's some truth to that. But my worry is, what if Joshua Harris has overextended himself worth about $7.5 billion net worth, Joshua Harris, and he's purchasing a team for $6 billion with Magic Johnson and other partners, while owning the Devils, while owning the 76ers, while owning a soccer team overseas, I believe. Or does he own it? I don't know. He tried to buy the New York Mets. Steve Cohen put a, squash to that. So there will be a podcast about that, because I'm kind of concerned that if the whole thing doesn't work out with the Commanders, what that may do for other teams inside the Harris Blitzer Sports Entertainment portfolio. It's very interesting, but I need some more time and research to kind of look into that, because the Devils have a great thing going here. You see all the press, well, the 76ers are now back after 10 years of losing. The Devils are back after 10 years of losing. But that's just only a small sample size. We shall see what that would mean for the New Jersey Devils and the rest of the Harris Blitzer Sports Entertainment portfolio. But I got to do some more research on it. But I thought it was very interesting, the ESPN.com article stating that the NFL may have to change the rules after this, just because the sale of the Denver Broncos went to one person, essentially, that basically funded it all. This one is a group that includes Magic Johnson. JP says, do we have to be Commanders fans now? No, we can still boo them at the Prudential Center, I guess. I don't know. Well, that's it for the Woo Report. Dropping the podcast in about an hour, 20 minutes. When can I get to it? I want to thank all those tuning in here on the Morning Woo, on the Woo Report. But the one thing before we go that I see, Joshua Harris, I've never seen so much passion out of that guy till recently, when the Devils beat the Rangers Game 7, and that video of him waving the towels and high-fiving fans, and him getting excited buying the Washington Commanders, and I didn't know that he was a Maryland native. I like that emotion. I like that out of an owner, because it connects with the fans, and I like to see more of that. Not so much the meddling, unless needed. But it was Joshua Harris and that awkward press conference with Tom Fitzgerald, then interim GM. Look what has happened with the New Jersey Devils now. Again, I want to thank all those tuning in on the Morning Woo. And, see you 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Nick Villano and I stay at Fan Address, presented by pucksandpitchforks.com. Talking more Devils hockey. Yep, Devils hockey. There is no off-season here on the Let's Go Devils podcast. Keep it here, keep it real. This is the Morning Woo on the Woo Report. Till next time, let's go Devils.